What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Patty, and look, we didn't rub our hands. I'm proud of me too. What's going on, everybody? Um, so we're here today to kind of just talk about what to do next. I've been starting to see a bunch of the comments of y'all being amazing people and listening to me about focusing on your core, get that a +5. And I've seen a few times where people going, Patty, I've done that. Now what do I do? That's what we're going to talk about today. Real quick, if you haven't seen, we've only been doing this for about 3 months, and we're getting real close to partner numbers. So if you could help a boy get up to around 1,000, me love you long time. Long time. I love everybody, but I'm especially loving y'all. All right, so if you've been paying attention to the things that I just keep beating home over and over again, in terms of what's a good investment, it's your core early on. So after you get your core to, arguably you want to get it to about +7. I'm not quite there on my alt right now. This is my Blade Master. we're getting there. We're getting there and everything. We're not all the way there home yet. But if you are, at this point, or you are at full .7, you do want to start looking at some other things. The game has been giving you resources, so by this point you should have saved up some stuff for a couple of things we're going to go take a look at real fast. And this is the point that some of this starts to become really relevant and is really going to start helping you after you've gotten past that, initial setup and everything with your core. So, first thing we're just going to take a little look-see at. This is an easy thing to forget. You also don't get a huge amount of resources out of this. It's only a couple points of upgrade per one. So, it's nothing super amazing. One of the biggest things that I would say you should focus on first is probably going to be your pet. If you caught my last video at all, I went in on this a little bit, but in case anybody didn't see that, essentially one of the best things about your pet is this thing right here, the stat CVR. That's stat conversion rate. So you're getting 30% of this dude's stats. So if we go in and look at this, this tells us exactly what we're getting from our man. We're getting 459 AP from him, okay? As a Blade Master, one of our most important stats going to be that AP. So at 4,260, that 459 is literally 10% of my AP. That's a good buff, and he's, those aren't great. These are the poor man setup on him. So if you spend, money, you can get, you can get one of these two versions that increase it by a much more dramatic amount. The one that I'm using right now is 240. This is the cheapest one you can get. You can spend 100,000 gold and get this one from the store. The purple one's going to run you about 450 or so. Let's see what it looks like real quick. Oh, no, it's 497. Yeah, so this one's 500 diamonds. So that's not worth it getting it on the first pet because you replace him super fast. And this guy's actually not going to have... Oh, it doesn't let me show you on this one. But when you go to cultivate on him, the dark pets don't have the same things you can cultivate as the light pets. So you're not going to be able to get this same kind of buff. You're going to get a debuff that these guys are able to do. But really, once you get this third pet, he's going to be the one that you can put that stuff on and get a decent little bit out of. So... Definitely for this first guy, go with the poor man options. If you happen to get a pull of one of these, because you can actually get these randomly from certain events, I would, again, save it for one of these two that you're going to be using for longer. If a Beast Dragon is only a week or so away from unlocking for you, then again, don't put it in one of the, into the first cat, you know what I mean? So... just a little bit of tip there. So that'll get you, again, a substantial amount of stats. This is more than you're going to see from most things. Allies probably going to be the next biggest thing. So if you missed the rating video, I missed completely that you get 12% of all of your ally stats. I don't recommend spending diamonds on this. The best way to do this is to save the free gold tickets that you get. And then on the weekends, there's the guaranteed 5-pull chance that you can get. So you want to save up and then do your pulls then when you've got enough of those tickets, or if you've got, like, you know, 6 tickets and everything, and then you want to pay the rest in diamonds and everything, that's fine. But I don't recommend just doing straight 10 pulls of diamonds, especially not on the weekend and not when you're not getting that guaranteed 5-star buff. So that's the best way for, you know, free to play players and everything like that to try and get some really strong allies. As you can see, I've still got some leveling mats. I'm holding out. I'm hoping that I get a really good 6-star in, you know, one of my weekend 10 pulls, because we just started saving on this guy, so it's going to take a week or two before we're able to do that and see what we get. So I'm saving resources on that right now, but definitely start, you know, make sure you're getting your free recruit pulls and everything like that. These guys will definitely help you out. Yeah, she doesn't give anything too crazy, so that's not really... If you get lucky, this is a good place, but if you don't get lucky, you know, stick to the weekend pulls and just save your cards and try and do them with that. So I got super lucky on this character with the Terra event, and the first thing that I flipped for like the 20 coupons that they have for really cheap on the first pull, I got a box that had 30 evolution stones in it. So we're getting a good amount of buffs from our motor right now. My main isn't even close to as leveled up into A as my Blade Master is, which is kind of funny. But yeah, you do start getting some pretty decent buffs from this. You know, also if you've got the paint cans, use the sprays. You get some materials from that. If you're wondering why I'm making a funny face, I was wrong about that in a video recently. So I don't think we have any on this one, do we? Oh, we got some. So you see, you get a little bit from that too. So nothing wrong there. Nothing wrong there at all. Okay, yeah, you can see right here what you're getting from all the stats, what you're getting from your evolution stuff and everything. That's awesome. So that's going to be something important to take a look at. Another thing that is going to start showing up on your radar, but this is one of those things that even a couple weeks after they introduce this to you, you're not going to be anywhere near. Like if we look at the overview and it says, oh, we get our first thing when we get all to wings T1. Okay, well that's after about 5 different color upgrades of these claws before you get to wings. And they start costing a good bit. So once you start spending in this system, don't expect to get anywhere close to this really quickly. You know, to do it, you would have to spend a good amount of money, and that's not something that I highly recommend. But this is something that starts coming in really important. If you look at all of these, they're going to be giving you a different stat. And if you know, on your character where to look and see what's the most beneficial, physical attack and AP are going to be the 2 best things for my Blade Master here. So when we go in and look at these different types of gear we can enhance, we can see that, okay, this one's got AP, this one's got crit, cooldown reduction, multi-strike. Okay, so this is the one I've invested in the most, and I get a pretty solid chunk of AP from it. Again, that's probably another 15%, maybe close to 20%. No, it'd be close. It's more than the 459, and that was almost 10% on the spot. Yeah, it was 10.9% of my AP. So that's another little healthy slice that's making your boy feel a little bit more at home. And then on the suit side, all of these are going to be more on the defensive side. So it's harder to go wrong here because all of these are going to, kind of just give a good amount. Some of them give more HP than the others. Some are giving more physical attack or defense and everything. So kind of prioritize this as you need to, but I've been just kind of feeding them equally. But you can see that you get a decent amount of rating from this. So after you've put in, to your core and you've gotten that to a good spot, these are some of the other things that you want to start taking a look at. Another thing that I want to mention real quick, because a buddy mentioned on a recent comment that we haven't touched on that on the channel yet, and he was actually right about that. Sorry, I just alt-tabbed and now I can't see. If we look over here in this corner when you go into wardrobe, you're going to see that your glamour has a certain level to it, going off your total beauty, and you actually do get some stats from this. It's not a crazy amount, so I don't highly recommend you don't and spend a whole bunch of money on this. But this is a good thing that, like, a lot of events that they do and the little like tokens or things that they give out, those can be redeemed for something that you're probably not going to use or might not be interested in using, but it gives you like 200 beauty, 150 beauty, something like that. That's useful to get because all those things accumulate and you start getting some stats off them on here. So definitely keep an eye out for things like that. And these are the little ways that you kind of just trickle in power and start making you a little bit stronger. Other than that, I feel like that's a good place to leave off on where to start, opening up your options and the things to focus on. If we had to rank again everything that we went through and talked about, pet's going to be one of the most important in my opinion. Motors, I do want to point out, where is it at? Oh, I guess I have to go back into here. So for your level 70 assessment, one of the things you're going to need to do is get your car or your motor, one of your motors, to A rank. So keep in mind that that's something you're going to have to try and have done around the time that you hit level 70, so that you're able to get that talent. So that's important to keep in mind. After that, allies are good, but stick to those guidelines we gave you. Gear is going to be a nice solid chunk. You'll probably get more out of gear than you get out of allies unless you get lucky. So, pet, motor for the talent to a certain point, and then gear is going to be the best. And keep the stuff in mind about your beauty points. Think we covered all that like a champ. Let me know if you guys have any more questions or if there's any other stuff as you're progressing into the game that you have questions about, and we'll try and cover it in future videos. I promise we're going to have a Soul Dancer video soon. I just have to literally find a gun and force myself to work on it, which is not like I enjoy playing the class. I am just very tight on time. Alright, I appreciate your faces so much, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. It's been your boy Patty, and we out of here. Deuces.